Got a lot to talk about this week, mostly sticking in AEW, but we will bring in Kurt Angle. We'll talk match of the week and more. Let's get to it.
I'm Paul Stanley of KISS. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
I told you last night, no!
You're listening to your source for pro wrestling talk.
For those that are unaware, my name is Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, I actually used to wrestle for Ring of Honor before I signed with WWE.
You know, that name that you just named, I've never had a one-on-one match here in Impact Wrestling Games for Swan.
This is Third League.
World Women's Champion for NWA. I'm the first ever Mexican-born wrestler to hold this title.
This is the first time someone's introduced me as the Monster Hunter outside of a wrestling show.
His psychology was completely different, and it was more lucha style and Japanese style, so I got two completely different kinds of training.
This is Wrestling Radio.
Welcome into another edition of Third League Wrestling Radio. Here we got, well, something that I'm not a fan of, but we're just going to go right off with it. You know, I've not been a fan of WWE's quote-unquote partnership with TNA because it's not really a partnership. TNA is basically a subsidiary of WWE. It's just a satellite company. Well, Kurt Angle.
What, they're doing war games between the two, but the captains are both NXT talent? It doesn't make any sense.
It's weird.
And no one cares that Mike Santana won the title because they did it wrong. And up until I just now thought about it, I thought Trick Williams was still a champion, so that's how much no one cares.
Yeah, well, Kurt Angle, he wants the TNA video library to be bought by WWE. He says he wants WWE fans to see his work in TNA, which, granted, they did not watch. They can go watch. Here's the thing.
Stop.
No, because I'm making a point. You're probably making the same point. They can already go watch, but they don't.
How can they go watch?
You can tell how they go watch. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the matches are readily available in lots of different places. You can even go on Pluto TV, and there's a TNA channel dedicated to solely nothing but TNA.
If you go to their YouTube, they have posted every single pay-per-view they have ever done. They do TV show marathons where they do from the beginning to now, even 2009. They show everything. It's all on the YouTube for free.
Right, and this goes on to something that I talk about forever, and people say I'm just being biased or whatever. WWE fans are not fans of professional wrestling. They're fans of WWE. Now, more often than not, fans of AEW are fans of pro wrestling. They've watched tons of it. They watched Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle go at it in TNA. You know what I mean? They watch the Main Event Mafia. Mm-hmm. They know a little bit about New Japan and All Japan and CMLL and AAA. WWE fans have to be told what that is. Mm-hmm. I just think that's a clear line. Like Kurt Angle says he wants WWE to buy the library so fans can watch his work when they can already go watch his work for free. Mm-hmm. That's just a clear line that you can't really say I'm biased anymore. I mean, not you personally, but when people talk like that, when they say WWE fans most of the time are not wrestling fans, you can't really say that's a biased statement.
Honestly, this just, to me, this is like calling out for TNA to just be bought by them, and I don't know why Lynn Esper hasn't sold it already.
Well, he probably he doesn't want to feel like AAA. Because AAA still feels like, or the owners, the managers of AAA still feel like they own the company. If he's going to sell it, he wants to get a good deal. He wants to sell it outright.
They just gave Ethan Page and Chelsea Green the mixed tag titles for AAA.
Yeah, and Ethan Page has a Latin American Championship match coming up. So. That's crazy. But yeah, Kurt Angle wants TNA's video library to be bought by WWE.
Your source for pro wrestling and your place for modern rock. This is Third League. Rock and Wrestling Radio.
Well, all right, before we get into AEW shows, we got some stuff to talk in AEW. First off, we're talking Hologram. Hologram has been injured, sidelined rest of the year. He recently posted
He's recovering.
He posted on Instagram he just had surgery. He is recovering.
He's in the laying down phase.
I'm not sure when the timetable is going to be. I don't know if anyone knows right now, but
probably about a month or two.
I would say he's not going to be. I mean, even after he recovers, he still has rehab and all that. I would guess we could. It might be till March before we see him.
Oh, well. I mean, maybe, but no, I'm thinking like February.
Yeah, 35-0. He should come back and lose. That should be the first thing. Come back and lose.
Why don't you give him a championship?
Have Clone beat him, and then that just makes the Clone and Hologram more interesting. Other than, hey, we bought somebody in to lose to Hologram for 6 times in a row.
No, that's stupid.
I just don't get why you're so. Hologram has to always win. I mean, he doesn't need to be Jade Cargill or Goldberg. I mean, no one needs that again.
Yes.
No one needs that again. Basically, why did you bring Clone in if you're just going to have Hologram beat him all the time? What's the point?
You have no consideration of long-term storytelling. You just think, oh, when Hologram comes in, they have to do 3 matches, and that's it, and they're never going to fight again, and blah, 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 and that's what Clone was here for, and you don't have any story. This is going to be a year-long thing. This isn't, hey, he comes back in March, they're done by April. That's stupid.
Well, I mean, I hate to criticize Tony's booking in that way, but he has done stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't.
Not recently.
It would not surprise me to see that. It is more likely than not likely, is what I'm trying to say.
The only time he's done that is with stories no one cared about.
I mean, granted, in the Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin era of AEW is different than the current era of AEW, but I mean, you can't say it hasn't been recently that those kind of just, what are you doing moments have not been present.
Orange Cassidy had a reason to win the whole time because there was no one else who could take the title, and he pushed it to the next level because it was
arguably the worst era in AEW's history so far.
Because they had nobody. Injuries. They had no one in the mid-card. Orange Cassidy carried that title so that it could be lifted by, I think it went to, who'd it go to? Moxley had it for a little bit, but he lost it. Forgot who Moxley lost it to.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's probably a representation of how memorable Orange Cassidy's run was.
It was memorable. You remember every single week thinking, is he going to lose it this time? But then, no, he doesn't, because he puts on a banger match and wins. We thought Jeff Jarrett was going to be champion. That's a good story.
I have never heard banger match and Orange Cassidy in the same sentence ever.
Yes, you have.
I never.
The fact that he made us think that Jeff Jarrett was going to be a champion, that's awesome.
How did we get from Hologram to this? Yeah, because Hologram doesn't need to keep winning all the time.
Talking wrestling around the world. This is Third League.
Well, now current AEW star, current 3-way contract star, Konosuke Takeshita, he's on the DDT, AEW, and New Japan contract. Well, recently had a challenger. Final homecoming, he defended his IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Hiroki Goto. Goto actually a former champion, but Takeshita would get the win. Raging Fire would secure the pinfall. After that, though, he gets on the mic and he asks for a challenger. The global heavyweight champion, Yota Tsuji, comes out. Well, he's like, okay, I'll take your challenge, but only if you put the global heavyweight title on the line. It's a double title match.
Mm-hmm.
Takeshita, Yota Tsuji.
Yeah.
Who gets it?
Well, Takeshita wins, and they're finally getting rid of the global heavyweight title because I didn't understand it. See, when you merge the Intercontinental and the heavyweight titles, it made the world title. And then you bring out the global title.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. So they're going to remerge it, and maybe they'll bring something else out that makes more sense.
I don't know. I love the old design. I still don't like the new design of the title. I love the design when, Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada won it. I don't like the new design of the title. I really don't. But, it's better than any WWE redesign I've ever seen. When they started redesigning their great belts, the classic Intercontinental title, the Winged Eagle, and, when they started redoing their belts and coming out with these, I was like, ooh, these are horrible. And everybody around me was like, oh my God, that looks so good. Did you see it? I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay, right. Like when they get the new Intercontinental title, the oval one, I didn't like that one at all. But then when they redid the Intercontinental title, especially the one they have now, I'm like, oh my God, give me the oval. Give me the oval. I'll take the oval over this. Oh my God. But yeah, no. The IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship and World title will be decided Wrestle Kingdom 20. But that also means that Takeshita will not be the final opponent for Tanahashi.
Yeah, we already knew that.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but that is Konosuke Takeshita defending the title.
You're listening to Third League Radio.
We're going to kind of spoil a part of Collision because Nixon Newell, the former Tegan Knox, made her debut as part of a tag team with Miranda Alizé. And this got some attention I don't think Tony was trying to get. I don't think AEW was trying to get. I was reading I saw an article on social media from Outsports. So clicked on it, read the story, and it is an entire article praising the entrance to the ring for Alizé and Nixon Newell. Why?
I don't even know who they are.
Tegan Knox, her new character is Nixon Newell.
Okay, no one
She's
cares.
tagging up with Miranda Alizé.
Good, no one cares.
They're being presented as a couple in a very normal, natural way. It's not Eric Bischoff HLA. It's not done for shock value. It's not done in a Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa way. It's just a very natural way. As they're at the entrance ramp, Knox puts her arm around Alizé, kisses her on the cheek. They walk on down. They get into the ring. They wave to the crowd. Another little peck on the lips. They get out, and who's going to go? It's being praised just for how normal it seemed and how nobody made any attention to it. Not said, oh my gosh, they're a couple. It was just shown in a normal everyday light. Out News and a couple of other ones are praising this. I mean, honestly, this praise comes from Dave Meltzer at first.
What are we doing? This isn't 1969.
Apparently it is. Have you not looked around? Have you not? I mean, when we're recording this show, we're recording in Oklahoma. You cannot tell me that you in Oklahoma cannot see this and be like, very cool.
Yeah, but it's where are they at? I mean, it's like.
I mean, have you not seen this hatred moving across the country where, I mean, honestly, bigots are empowered to say and do things that just 10 years ago they would not do. So something like this is very cool.
It is, but reporting on it feeds into the thing. That's what they want. That's what they think, is that we're pushing it on them. When you report it, it's like, oh, they're pushing it on us.
But that's the thing. This was treated just like.
Because if it was a straight relationship, you wouldn't report on it.
Edge and Lita, they got some reports on there.
That was different.
Granted, yeah, they were trying to get reports on that. But yeah, I don't know. That's just very cool because it's, like I said, just treated like every day. Nobody said anything about it. Now, because of that, because of the normalcy, other people saying something about it.
Third League Radio.
Well, all right, it's time to get into AEW Wrestling this week, and we've got to start with Fright Night Dynamite. That was Wednesday night. I thought it was going to be on Friday. I thought they were going to move it to Halloween. I think that's what they did the last couple of years, was they moved it to actual Halloween. But if you move it to Friday, I guess that is going to be, you considered you trying to counter-program SmackDown or whatever. But
which would have been actually the better idea because SmackDown got its lowest rating and lowest attendance on Friday.
Yeah. Well,
and you were going up against World Series, which you would have been on Friday too. But
yeah, AEW Collision did not have very good attendance, but that was because they taped Collision and Dynamite on the same day. So when you get into a long show like that, yeah, it kind of thins out after a while, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But if we are talking about Collision, or excuse me, Dynamite, the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament would kick off. We would see that, but the show itself will get started with Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta taking on Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin in a trick-or-treat tornado tag match.
I didn't care for it too much, but it was fun. Got the crowd hyped, I guess.
Well, Cassidy and Allin would get the win over this, and I think if you're trying to put together Yuta and Garcia in a tag team, and I'm honestly, Daniel Garcia's looking pretty good. He just needs to quit talking right now, focus on the character, which he is doing. And him and Wheeler Yuta could really be a good tag team. And I get why they lost Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. Cassidy and Allin are established. Yuta and Garcia are not to that level yet. But I don't know. I think it would have been cool to see those two get to win in this one.
I just don't think that would have made much sense, but, you know.
Well, the Young Bucks, they were making their way to the ring. Don Callis gives them a grand announcement from the backstage area, the Don Callis thing. He's trying to get them to join Callis family, by the way. But the Young Bucks, they would take on Jet Speed, FTR, and Jurassic Express in the Fright Night 4-Way.
I don't remember much of this match, honestly.
I like the entrance because it teased something I've been talking about. When Jack Perry came out, it's Halloween, it's Fright Night. Guess what he's wearing? Scapegoat mask. He's got the big head. I'm like, oh, yay. Tease the dark Jack Perry. Tease the evil Jack Perry. That's the best Jack Perry to me. But FTR would get the win in this one. Speedball basically landed a moonsault on Luchasaurus Hardwood off the top rope, but FTR would manage to use that to hit the Shatter Machine on Night.
I'm telling you, he is out to get revenge against the Young Bucks for pushing him to the side. He grabbed Luchasaurus. He's trying to get the fans on his side, and then he's going to take over.
Well, it was the Don Callis Family Summit, and everybody's out to the ring. Takeshita's out there, and Callis is trying to get Takeshita and Okada to shake hands. And Takeshita kind of agrees. He sticks his hand out. And Okada...
After a while, it took him a while to agree to it. He was
Okada
like, no.
sticks his hand out, but instead of shaking hands, he turns it into flipping Takeshita off. Basically rage baiting Takeshita. The family has to separate him. That is going to lead to a great match. Callis is trying to play it off as like when Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan used to butt heads on the sidelines and all that.
This isn't going to lead to a match. Not yet.
No, it's gonna be a slow build.
No, Continental Classic.
Oh, you think they're gonna come down to the final?
It could be.
Well, okay.
Well, here's the thing.
No, hold on.
Takeshita can't defend his title against Okada because he has Wrestle Kingdom, so it's just going to be automatic prediction.
Now that you say that, I've been noticing.
So it has to be Continental Classic.
Now that you say that, I've noticed the last couple times Okada and Takeshita have been on screen together. Excalibur has said, or Don Callis, some of them have said, well, considered the two greatest tournament wrestlers of all time, where it used to just be Okada being called the greatest tournament wrestler of all time. But since Takeshita won the G1, they're adding him in on that. You could have a point on that.
Yeah.
It could be who's the greatest tournament wrestler of all time, yeah.
Again, it's way too predictable to do Takeshita versus Okada for the IWGP title. You can't do that. Why would you do a Continental title match if you have the tournament coming up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when is it? When is the tournament?
Usually November.
Is it? Really?
Yeah.
Because I thought it lasted a couple months. I thought it started around February. Well, then it was Kyle O'Reilly and Jon Moxley, and this one was good. Kyle O'Reilly and Jon Moxley have been doing this for a couple matches now, but this would also not really have a winner. It would end in a double countout on the outside. Remember, the last one, it was a disqualification. Kyle O'Reilly was the winner, but it was a disqualification. Kyle O'Reilly got beat up.
Yeah, double countout, yeah. It was actually a decent match. Kyle O'Reilly is getting a little more, I guess, stiff, I guess. I don't like he's hitting a little harder, but I think that's more for the story. Like, he's angry at Moxley.
Yeah, and it's, really, a lot of people would come back out on this. Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and this is where we would see what is going to be the men's version of a blood and guts match. We would see the participants here. This would set the stage for that. And we would go right directly to something that would kind of set the stage for the women's blood and guts match to be added in, where we thought it was going to be a 3-on-3 match. It's turned from that into a 6-on-6 match. Sisters of Sin going to be a part of it. Mercedes Moné going to be a part of it. Marina Shafir, Megan Bayne. On the other side, Willow Nightingale. Tony Storm and Chris Statlander teaming up in this, oddly enough. Who else is going to be on that one? Yeah, no, this is fully stacked. It's going to be a good match. Harley Cameron is in that match. I'm forgetting all the names right now of the women who are in it, but it's gone from 3-on-3 to a 6-on-6 match.
I mean, I hope it's good. I mean, they have plenty of ideas they can do. It's not going to be terrible like the women's War Games match, so...
But then we move on to, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. The first match in the Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament, Sisters of Sin taking on Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata before they meet in that Blood and Guts match. But Sisters of Sin would get the win here, as I expected. They are moving on.
You know what's funny is I actually called their name before they said it. So they were Triangle of Madness, and then the first time Sky Blue and Julia Hart were in a tag team, I was like... I think you were questioning it or something. I was like, it's the Sisters of Sin. And then they said it. And I was like, see?
So I know we think it's probably going to be Tony and Mina who get the titles. Good chance that it turns out the final turns out to be Athena and Mercedes versus Tony and Mina. But Sisters of Sin have been a tag team.
They need the belts.
I think they should get the belts. Yeah. I think they should be the first champions. It actually builds the women's tag division.
They are the only ones with the name.
Yeah, that's true. No. The Babes of Wrath.
It's not even like that on the bracket.
Let's see. Backstage, Tony Schiavone with Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford. Penelope Ford says she's injured. And see, this could throw a wrench into the tag team tournament because Marina Shafir joins Megan Bayne. And that was weird. John Moxley
came in doing a scripted thing.
Had this weird look like, they're going to be good. Like, what? What the hell is this?
And I understand Marina and Megan Bayne being scripted. They can't really talk. But John Moxley coming out there saying, like...
Yeah, none of that made sense to me. So... Samoa Joe, Ricochet, Hook, Bobby Lashley, Fright Night 4-way fight. This would, of course...
Number one contender.
Samoa Joe would, of course, become the number one contender, get the winner in this one.
Well, I thought it could go really a couple different ways, and they teased it go in some other ways, too. I think it would have made more sense if Bobby Lashley got it, but...
Well, like I was saying, they're doing this to not... Because... Like you were talking about when I was saying how it was cool that Hangman Page was running through opponents and not just in big name opponents, getting his way back around to MJF. You've got to kind of stop that a little bit. So to have that exceed into 2, maybe 3 matches with Samoa Joe here before Hangman actually gets the best of Joe.
You could have still done that.
This is leading to that. This is why Joe gets to win in that. And then you have another contender come forward.
Joe said he's never gonna stop chasing the title. Whoever is the title, he's chasing it. So why couldn't it make sense to where he gets cheated out of the 4-way, Bobby Lashley loses, and then he comes up and pounces Adam Page after the match, setting up for the second match. And that way you get Bobby Lashley some main event time.
Well, they still got things going on in Hurt Syndicate too, but
not really. They just
after the match
stuff.
After the match was where there are people wearing the disguises, the costumes, and one of them that Hangman Page wore to attack Joe before. So Joe brings the costume people down with Tony Schiavone and everything, and he starts beating the crap out of all the costume people, rips the head off the one he thought was Hangman Page, and it's not. He gets on the mic and he's basically saying, you lucked out this time, but I know you're here and I'm going to come find you. And Tony Schiavone says, hey, guys, get a beer, raise your glasses. And I'm like, that's not Tony Schiavone. And you're like, no, what? And then it wasn't Tony Schiavone. It was Hangman Page dressed as Tony Schiavone, Who hit the buckshot lariat on Samoa Joe?
I still don't know how they did that.
That was when the switch was made off camera. The switch was made when...
Very clearly, Tony Schiavone went under the ring, but he was still talking.
But what I don't get, I can see how they hid the switch from us on TV. How did they hide the switch from the crowd?
Yeah, I haven't seen a video of the switch.
That's crazy to me. I mean, when you see the man standing there, you're like, that is not Tony Schiavone. I mean, you can't really tell when he's got turned or whatever, and they're not showing the right camera angle, but when you see that shot of him right behind Joe, you know it's not Tony Schiavone. He doesn't have to pull off the mask. You know?
Maybe it wasn't so hidden for the crowd, but I haven't seen any video of someone for the switch, so...
Yeah, but that is how Dynamite would end. And we go to Collision in Edinburgh, Texas at Burt Ogden Arena. And this was a CMLL style show. Had some, not really CMLL style, but more in that tradition. As you had Mascara Dorado on the show taking on Bandito. You had actually Olympia from CMLL taking on Mercedes Moné for the CMLL women's title. So it was definitely in that style, but it would start off with the tag match. Konosuke Takeshita teaming with Kazuchika Okada, taking on Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. Of course, because Takeshita and Okada would get the win on this one, but I thought...
Well, it was Okada was about to hit the Rainmaker. Takeshita pushed Okada down to the ground, hit the Raging Fire, and pinned Caster.
Yeah, but I thought it would go the other way with jealousy causing... maybe infighting would be a better word, causing Takeshita and Okada to take the loss here, while Caster and Bowens getting a win like this starts the road to them getting back together. That's where I thought they were going with this, but...
Well, you're not thinking of any story. I mean...
What's the story going to be when Bowens and Caster go singles run? The same thing they're doing now for 20 years?
Why would they suddenly win a tag team match after... It doesn't make any sense.
Because they are a tag team. That's what they know. They're not singles wrestlers.
They're
don't
tag
like
team
each
wrestling. Other anymore. They're not going to actually try.
And that's going to be...
If they have one...
How do you not listen to what I said earlier? A win like that starts their road to getting back together because they just beat two of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
I wasn't even done explaining it, so how can you know what I was going to say?
What were you going to say? Because you just ignored what I said.
If they beat two guys like Takeshita and Okada without having teamed for over a year and a half, there is no building to that. There is just, oh, hey, we're a team now.
No, that's not we're a team.
Yes, it is.
That's where they slowly...
Because they can't fight.
That's where they slowly stop arguing.
No.
They still have that where they don't like each other.
Why would they? Why would they?
But they see that they're better as a team than they are as individuals.
Why would they hate each other if they just beat the two biggest wrestlers in the world?
Do you not? Wow.
It doesn't make any sense.
Wow. This is a classic storytelling idea. And you're just like, does it make sense?
What would happen is they'd be
Have
like...
you read books?
What happens is... Dude, that was fucking awesome. Hey, yeah, let's go grab a beer. It's not going to be like, hey, I fucking hate you, but we just won that match. That's stupid.
That's happened before. Many times.
To companies that don't exist anymore.
Sure. God, whatever, dude. You should watch wrestling sometime. But then we go to a CMLL women's title match. Mercedes Moné defending against professional bodybuilder and professional wrestler Olympia. She looked really good. I mean, not just bodybuilding physique-wise, but in the ring. This is one of my first time seeing her. She looked really good.
I didn't see the match.
Wow,
I saw like a little bit of it, but I mean, from what I saw, it was just regular stuff, so...
Well, Statlander was at the ringside commentary, and basically Moné was teasing Statlander while she was trying to end the match here. After she did win the match, they would stare each other down, and that's going to be multiple story in the Blood and Guts, but that's going to be one of the big parts of Blood and Guts, I think, is Moné and Statlander. But then Marina Shafir, Megan Bayne, taking on Nixon Newell and Miranda Alizé. We mentioned this one earlier. Tegan Knox The former Tegan Nox, Nixon Newell, making her debut as a tag team with Alizé. But of course, this was all about Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. They would get the win with a quickness in this one.
Yeah, I mean, again, I didn't really care for it because I don't like Megan Bayne. I didn't understand the tag team, so I mean, they didn't even. Is Penelope Ford actually injured, or are they just making a story?
No, she's actually injured.
I would have brought Harley Cameron instead.
But that doesn't make sense for the War Games or Blood and Guts because Harley Cameron's on the other side with Chris Statlander. So you can't have Harley Cameron team with Megan Bayne and still have Blood and Guts the way you have it set up.
I don't really get it. I don't think they work together.
Well, LFI would come to the ring next. They would be taking on Mark Briscoe, Roderick Strong, and Commander. And, well, Mark Briscoe, Roderick Strong, and Commander would get the win in this one. I do not like that. I know you want to push Mark Briscoe. Roderick Strong's good, all that. But LFI needs a decent run. LFI seems like fall guys all the time to me. That's what Tony thinks about them. And you've got Guevara, you've got Beast Mortos, you've got Roosh. That is a killer lineup.
Yeah, but if they beat your big baby faces, then they just lose a lot of momentum.
You gotta get, I don't know.
If they lose to people who aren't on AEW TV every week, what does that say?
I mean, it says that, hey, I like LFI. I'm going to push LFI. I don't get why you wouldn't.
But you shouldn't push people that you like. That's
what Tony does. That's why Hologram's undefeated. That's why Orange Cassidy has a job.
Every single critic, every single person who's watched Orange Cassidy likes him. You just don't like to have fun. You like to.
No, I liked Orange Cassidy for a little bit, but you know what?
Statistical.
Like I've said before, he's not going to do anything other than that.
So
that's all he's ever going to do. That's not good. You have to grow in wrestling. That's all he's ever going to do is that. What if Bubba Ray was still with the glasses going, and had to get slapped in the back of the head to learn how to talk? What if he was still doing that? It would have gotten old 20 years ago. Actually, it did get old 30 years ago. That's why he stopped doing it.
It's different. It's like saying, you want Orange Cassidy to be world champion material. That's not what he is. That's not what he ever will be. That's not why he's doing that. You want him to change his whole character and be a serious person. That's not Orange Cassidy. That's whatever his real name is.
Listen, let me put it to you in a different way. Do you think Stephen Flo is ever going to go anywhere other than JCW?
No, because it's Stephen Flo.
Thank you. That's all it can ever be is Stephen Flo. That's all Orange Cassidy can ever be is, or it cannot be anything
character
else.
Work is more important than wrestling. Stephen Flo can't wrestle for crap.
Oh,
he
you've never seen Stephen Flo work.
Dude, if you think Stephen Flo can wrestle better than Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin, you get in the ring.
I'm putting Stephen Flo on the same level as Orange Cassidy, and that doesn't mean I think he's good.
That's stupid. That means you don't actually watch wrestling. You watch your phone.
I do watch wrestling.
You watch your phone.
I watch the same match. Every time I watch Orange Cassidy, it's the same match. It's the same match. That's it. It's the same match. Hey, I'm going to do slow kicks and try and put my hands in my pockets, and then I'm going to
I want you to go try and do what Orange Cassidy does.
Yay.
And tell me it's easy.
I'm not telling you it's not. I'm not telling you he's not good at what he's doing. I'm not telling you it's easy to do what he's doing. I'm telling you it's lazy, and he will never do anything else.
How is it lazy if it's hard as fuck?
Because it's the same thing over and over again.
That's like calling construction hard as fuck.
It's the same thing over and over again. Anyway, MXMTV casting call, and Bang Bang Gang would answer the casting call. They would get the win. Not much to say about that.
They're not Bullet Club Gold. No one's going to watch it.
Although I wish...
is Jay White hurt?
I wish Mansoor... like most of them are hurt. I wish Mansoor and Muhammad, oh my God. Mason Mansoor, my goodness. I wish they would be pushed a little bit more as a tag team. They are funny, and they can work. I like their whole thing. I like everything about them.
They should be. They're mostly on ROH because ROH needs something, but there's no story on ROH. So,
but the main event was the ROH World Championship. Bandito defending against Mascaro Dorada. And this was a good match. This would go back and forth, but eventually, of course, Bandito would win with a knee strike and a 21 plex to retain the ROH World Championship.
It was actually really good. I thought they would have given it to Mascara Dorada just simply because it would boost a little bit of attention towards the title and to CMLL, but what can you do? I also, isn't he affiliated with Callis Family? That would have helped that, so.
I'm not sure who's all affiliated with the Callis family anymore. I mean, it's changed so much.
I thought Mascara Dorada was, but... And that would have made sense because Bandito already has a thing with the Callis family.
Yeah, it's changed a lot, so I really do not know about all that. I don't know. At one point I thought Brian Cage was in the Callis family, and maybe he is, maybe he's not. I mean, is Wardlow in the Callis family when he comes back? I mean, he got injured pretty quickly after his return.
Brian Cage ain't there right now.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Injured, I think. He has to be, because he ain't on any TV.
But yeah, that is a look at Collision.
This week in history.
Well, all right, now let's go to this week in history. And we're looking at October 27th through November 1st. There was actually a few things on here. I had to actually stop the list. I had to cut the list. I had to leave it at 4. I could have put more on here. But we're going to start October 27th, 2004. A little small note to history, but it is a note nonetheless. We need to talk about Fergal Devitt. Fergal Devitt would defeat Drew Onyx to win the NWA British Commonwealth title in Cardiff, Wales. That would be October 27th, 2004. Prince Devitt would, of course, go on to be a leader of Bullet Club, and now they know him as Finn Balor. October 29th. We're kind of going to go in order on dates. That's weird. We've never done that. We've skipped around on dates before. But it follows in a good line here. October 29th in the year 2000. In what would be voted by Wrestling Observer Newsletter as the worst major show of 2000, the 12th and final Halloween Havoc would take place in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. One of the matches would see Jeff Jarrett pin Sting after various interferences from 5 different Stings.
That makes sense.
Against the actual Sting. Jeff Jarrett would finally get the win in that one.
As long as the story was that was the NWO or something.
There was another match on the show. This was when I kind of stopped watching, but I remember seeing stuff on this. Buff Bagwell, David Flair in a First Blood DNA match to see who was the father of Stacy Keibler's unborn child.
You can't test DNA that quick.
Oh, WCW. God. WCW 2000. Wow, that's crazy. October 30th, 1990. This was at a TV taping for the main event in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And one of the most famous or infamous Phantom title changes, the Rockers would defeat the Hart Foundation for the WWF Tag Team Championship. Basically, Jim Neidhart was going to leave the company, so they had to change. They had to give the titles up, right? Well, a few days later, he signed a new contract. So management said, yeah, that didn't happen. Aside from the Rockers being on house shows, making defenses, they're like, yeah, that didn't happen. On TV, they were like, the top rope broke, so it didn't count. And they didn't broadcast the match on TV. So everyone wouldn't see the top rope not breaking. Yeah, that's WWE for you. But November 1st, 1997. Well, following the events that were leading to his departure, Bret Hart had officially signed his WCW contract November 1st, 1997. The contract,
for like $5 million or something.
Well, it was worth $2.5 million per year. It was supposed to be kept secret until after the Survivor Series pay-per-view. It was not. And all that led to the infamous Montreal Screwjob. You know when the Montreal Screwjob happened? November 9th. 1997. November 9th, 1997, excuse me. So that was really just a week later after this. Mm-hmm. He had signed his contract. He was going to finish out, and he was like, I don't want to drop the title to Shawn. And Vince was like, okay, you won't have to. And they did that. Come on, man.
Because Shawn should have had the title.
I mean, given what I know about Sean right now, given all that stuff, I don't think he should have had it either. But back then, I would have been like, why? Come on, you should give him the title. Like that infamous Brett screwed Brett speech. I was like, yeah, he did. I didn't understand anything back then. But anyway, that is This Week in History.
Match of the week.
Well, all right, now let's go to Match of the Week. And I think for my honorable mention, it's got to come from Fright Night Dynamite. And honestly, this is going to be weird because it is going to be the, double countout. Jon Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly. And I don't even like this storyline. I'm not a fan of it. But of the matches and everything this week, this would probably be my honorable mention.
I'm going to go with the first match from Dynamite. I didn't really like it, but an honorable mention because it was fun and other people liked it. Story implications has some stuff. So.
That's Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin taking on Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia, for those who did not know. Well, for the match of the week, it's got to be the main event of Collision, the ROH World Championship. Bandito versus Mascara Dorada. There was
some stuff that happened in Japan that was apparently really good, but we didn't get to see it. So
yeah, but no, this was probably the match of the week for me because the crowd was smaller, yes, but they were loud, they were into it, they were hyped for this, and when you can get that, granted, like I said, it's a long show.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was a long taping day. So granted, you're having the people who want to be there, and you're having to move all down and get closer and everything like that. So they're going to be hyped, but they were hyped. Mm-hmm. And the match was really that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's going to be my match of the week this week.
And after it's all over, you say, oh, what a lovely tea party.
Third League. Wrestling Radio.
Well, as far as upcoming shows, I am not sure. I know there are a lot of shows coming up. GCW and Limitless Massacre, they've got one going on in Maine. I know about that because Portland Hearts of Pine, and I was looking them up when they knocked out Chattanooga out of the USL League One playoffs. Fuck Chattanooga. Fuck Eastridge, by the way. I know that's not wrestling, but just give it to me, all right? But I do know New Japan Superhuman Taiji Ishimori gets one ridiculous more time coming up in Tokyo, Japan, November 12th. Dragon Kid, Taiji Ishimori. It's the only match on the card.
New Japan, they're really building up Wrestle Kingdom. They're starting early.
Yeah, I know. That's actually really good. I like that. Other stuff we got to look at here. TNA has got a show coming up. Turning Point 2005. There is no matches listed on that.
Turning Point 2005.
Oh, 2025. Sorry.
Not a great show.
No, maybe there's a reason I accidentally said that instead of 2025. Maybe history's going to repeat itself because they apparently had a pretty good Bound for Glory. Had 7,600 people in attendance, something like that. And then they haven't had a live show since. They've had taped or shown best of episodes or things like that. And I get it, they do that after every Bound for Glory recently, but that's hurting their business.
Yep.
I don't see how WWE has let them do that.
I don't understand why they do that, really.
It's because all their contracts come up at Bound for Glory after Bound for Glory, and they're trying to renegotiate now and get people in and plan out for the next year. But all that should be done concurrently. That should be done backstage. If your contracts are all running out, hey, you know what you should be doing a month before Bound for Glory? Renegotiating contracts. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I was thinking of a different show. Turning Point 2005 was Samoa Joe defeating AJ Styles for the X Division title. Only thing that sucked was Team 3D beats America's Most Wanted in a tables match. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They did They did Sabu versus Abyss for some reason.
Yeah, that is a little bit odd. But other than that, Blood and Guts is the show we got to talk about. AEW Blood and Guts, the women's Blood and Guts match. Marina Shafir, Megan Bain, Mercedes Moné, along with Triangle of Madness, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Tekla. They are taking on Harley Cameron, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, Queen Aminata, Toni Storm, and Willow Nightingale. This is the first ever women's Blood and Guts match.
Yeah.
And we've seen Toni Storm go a little bit crazy.
Blood and Guts is a Dynamite. It's not a pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, this is it's Dynamite 319. There might be only 2 matches on the show, the women's and men's matches.
Yeah,
we've seen, not Chris Statlander. We've seen Toni Storm get a little crazy in some of these matches. Willow Nightingale as well. Marina Shafir, that is the question mark to me, because these matches can get intense. Mm-hmm. And she's gotten a lot better in professional wrestling, but when you come from an MMA background,
they're getting her ready for that. They just put her foot into the...
I know she's not going to be Raja Jackson and go crazy on somebody, but you don't want her to give a receipt when a receipt's not really required or needed in a set situation. Yeah, hopefully, you saw Brock Lesnar. I'll take that back, because Brock Lesnar gave a receipt when Braun Strowman deserved it. So
Brock Lesnar's stupid.
Well, Braun Strowman did deserve it. If you remember their match, Strowman kicks her, knees him right in the head. But moving on to the men's Blood and Guts match. Of course, we know it's Darby Allin, Roderick Strong, and the conglomeration, Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Briscoe, and Orange Cassidy, taking on the Death Riders. That's Claudio, Garcia, Moxley, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta. This should be good.
Yeah, Blood and Guts is always really good. I think every single Blood and Guts I've seen, I've given it 5 stars. So,
sadly, I think Tony's going to give the win to Allen and crew.
He usually does, but the heels need to win.
Yeah.
He never lets the heels win.
Death
the
Riders need this win. They need to continue on to be this feared group.
That's why the Elite storyline fell, because they wouldn't let him win Blood and Guts. Remember?
Mm-hmm. But that is going to be our episode this week. We will see you next time on Third League Radio.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Third League Radio. Download the latest episodes at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Catch the live radio show every weekend starting at 10 p.m. You can listen live every Friday night at mix961.net. This has been Third League Radio.